24-year-old orphan girl, Layla, ran through the darkened streets in fear, hiding from thieves. She entered a convent at night. The convent was silent except for the faint hum of hymns drifting from the chapel. Layla pressed herself against the cold stone wall, trying to calm her breath. The thieves wouldn't follow her here. Not into a house of God. She slid down onto the floor, exhausted, unaware that someone was watching her. A tall, silver-haired nun stood in the dimly lit hallway, a candle in hand. Her presence was commanding yet gentle. "You shouldn't be here, child," she said softly. Layla struggled to speak. "Please, I need a place to hide, just for tonight." The nun studied her with piercing gray eyes before nodding. "Follow me." Layla was led into a small chamber with a simple bed and a wooden cross on the wall. "I'm Sister Eleanor," the nun said. "Rest. We will talk in the morning." Days passed. Layla hadn't meant to stay, but something about the convent felt safe. Sister Eleanor had taken an interest in her, teaching her music in the afternoons. The convent had an old piano, and under Eleanor's guidance, Layla discovered an unexpected love for it. She had never known kindness like this before. One evening, after a music lesson, Sister Eleanor reached out and tucked a stray strand of Layla's dark hair behind her ear. "You're talented," she murmured. Layla felt something strange stir within her. The way Eleanor looked at her, soft yet intense, made her breath hitch. She didn't know what it meant, but it lingered in her mind long after she went to bed. Weeks turned into months. The bond between them deepened. They would sit together under the old oak tree, Eleanor reading poetry while Layla played the guitar. The nuns in the convent noticed how close they had become, whispering among themselves. But neither of them cared. Every night after prayers, Layla would sneak into Eleanor's chamber. They would talk for hours, sharing stories from their pasts. Layla spoke of the orphanage where she had grown up, the loneliness that followed her all her life. Eleanor spoke of the life she had left behind, how she had once dreamed of being a musician before she had chosen the path of faith. Then one evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Eleanor broke the silence. "Layla," she said hesitantly, "I must confess something." Layla turned to her. "What is it?" Eleanor's fingers trembled as she took Layla's hand. "I love you." Layla's heart skipped a beat. She had never heard those words spoken to her before. Not like this. I don't know what to say," she admitted. Eleanor smiled sadly. "Say nothing, if that is what you feel." Layla hesitated only a moment before squeezing Eleanor's hand. "I don't know much about love," she whispered, "but I know that I never want to be away from you." That was enough. Their love was a secret, but it was real. In the dead of night, they would meet in Eleanor's chamber, sharing soft kisses and whispered promises. The walls of the convent held their secrets, shielding them from a world that would never understand. One stormy evening, as the rain pounded against the stained glass windows, Eleanor and Layla lay together, listening to the thunder. "Do you ever regret this?" Layla asked. Eleanor stroked her cheek. "Never." Layla smiled and kissed her, their love burning brighter than any candle in the convent. They found solace in each other, their love deepening with each passing day. They stole moments together whenever they could, walking in the garden under the moonlight, brushing fingers against each other during Mass, sneaking away to the music room, where Layla would play songs meant only for Eleanor. Eleanor, once so composed and disciplined, found herself unraveling in Layla's presence. She had spent so many years devoted to her faith, to the convent, to a life of quiet solitude. But with Layla, she felt alive in ways she never had before. She began questioning everything. The vows she had taken, the life she had chosen. One night, as they lay tangled in each other's arms, Eleanor whispered, "What if we left?" Layla propped herself up on her elbow, searching Eleanor's face. "Leave? We could go somewhere new, somewhere we could be free," Eleanor said, her voice filled with longing. "I don't want to hide anymore." Layla's heart ached. She wanted that too, but the world was cruel, especially to women like them. "Where would we go?" she asked softly. Eleanor brushed her fingers through Layla's hair. "Anywhere, as long as I'm with you." Layla smiled and kissed her, their love burning brighter than ever. But happiness never lasts forever. One of the younger nuns had seen them together. She told the Mother Superior, who confronted Eleanor the next day. The Mother Superior had discovered their secret. She summoned Eleanor, her face grim. "This must stop," she declared. "You have taken vows. You are a woman of God." Eleanor's heart pounded, but she stood firm. "I love her," she said softly. The Mother Superior sighed. "If you do not end this, you will both be sent away." Eleanor rushed to Layla, her hands trembling. "They know," she whispered. "We have to leave." Layla's breath caught in her throat. "Where will we go?" "Anywhere," Eleanor said. "As long as I'm with you." They planned to slip away at midnight, but before they could, the thieves who had once chased Layla returned. They had heard whispers of a brown girl hiding in the convent and had come to claim her. The nuns scattered in fear as the men stormed in. Eleanor and Layla clutched each other's hands and ran toward the chapel, locking the heavy wooden doors behind them. The thieves pounded on the doors, shouting threats. Then, a sound rang out. Church bells. The town's night patrol had been alerted by the commotion. Footsteps approached, and the thieves, realizing they were trapped, fled into the darkness. The nuns slowly gathered, whispering prayers of relief. The Mother Superior turned to Eleanor and Layla. She saw the way they clung to each other, the fear in their eyes, the undeniable bond between them. She sighed. "You cannot stay here," she said, but her voice was no longer harsh. "But I will not stop you from finding your own path." Eleanor and Layla exchanged a glance, full of love, fear, and hope. The next morning they left the convent together, hand in hand, stepping into a world full of uncertainty, but also endless possibilities. No matter where they went, they had each other, and that was enough.